Sketching quadratic graphs does not require any precise drawings. You just need a generic curve with specific points mentioned on the graph. And in this video, I'll tell you what points you need for all marks in these questions. There are 4 things you have to look out for when sketching a graph. The y-intercept, where the graph touches the y-axis, the x-intercept, where the graph touches the x-axis, the vertex, which refers to the maximum or minimum point of a graph, and the overall shape of the graph. Y-intercepts and x-intercepts are very easy to find. For y-intercepts, you want to find when the graph touches the y-axis, which is any point where x equals 0. Therefore, you substitute x equals 0 into your equation. For example, to find the y-intercept of this equation, you substitute x equals 0 into this equation. This basically leaves plus 3 alone, which means the y-intercept is 3 and the point of intersection is 3, 0. For x-intercepts, you do the same thing but substitute y equals 0 into your equation. This time, you are left with the 0 equals some x value and a number. You can either factorize the equation so that it ends up in a form like this, where a, b, c, d can be any number. Or you can apply the quadratic formula as follows for any irrational number. These parts I'll talk about in future videos, but using these should allow you to find the x-intercept of the graph, if there is even one. And finally, the vertex, or the turning point of graph. All you have to do is to use a method called completing the square. There are a few general steps for this. Firstly, you remove any coefficient of x squared by taking that number, then putting x squared and the entirety of x into a bracket with that coefficient outside of the number. Do remember, however, that the coefficient of x should be divided by the number out of the bracket before being placed in the bracket so that its value stays the same. Afterwards, you divide the coefficient by 2, then square the number. Whatever the result ends up with, you add that number into the bracket, then minus that number out of the bracket to balance it out. The bracket then should look something like x squared plus ax plus b, which you can then simplify as brackets x plus a divided by 2 close brackets to the power of the 2. And now you have completed the square, where it should take a form of y equals a brackets x plus h close brackets to the square plus k. From this, the turning point of the graph will be minus h, k. I know this is hard to understand, so we will end this video with an example. Let's say you want to sketch a graph of y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 6, with 4 marks available. To find the y-intercept, we put x equals 0 into the graph, which then gets us y equals 2 times 0 plus 8 times 0 plus 6, telling us that y equals 6 and the y-intercept is 0, 6. To find the x-intercept, we put y equals 0 into the graph, which gets us 2x squared minus 8x plus 6 equals 0. In this case, we factorize the equation, split minus 8x into minus 2x and minus 6x. Then we can factorize it to 2x brackets x minus 1 close brackets minus 6 brackets x minus 1, which gets us brackets 2x minus 6 close brackets open brackets x minus 1 close brackets equals 0. Making the bracket 0 means the result will also be 0, so x will equal to 3 or to 1. Therefore, the x-intercept is 3, 0 or 1, 0. Finally, for the turning point, you complete the square of the equation. You remove 2 out of 2x squared, which gets you something like this. Afterwards, you divide minus 4 by 2, then squaring it, which gives you plus 4 at last. You put plus 4 into the bracket and minus 8 onto the bracket, as plus 4 times 2 had to be balanced out, which you would end up getting something like this as the result. Simplifying this, we get y equals 2 brackets x minus 2 close brackets to the power of 2 minus 2. And based on the rule we said above, the vertex is 2 minus 2. Getting all 4 points together, you sketch the graph. Make sure that the intercept actually touches its respective axes in the correct position where it is positive or negative. Then join the points together and you are done. And that's it for this video. Any questions, don't forget to ask in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time.